Congratulations. Look forward to working with you. I represent a district in upstate New York in the mid-Hudson Valley and the Catskills. Goes from Hyde Park to Cooperstown, from Vermont to Pennsylvania. It's a large rural area, and I very much appreciate your nomination and confirmation, and I hope that you won't forget places like upstate New York. You know, sometimes folks from other parts of the country think New York and they think New York City and urban. Well, we have a lot of rural areas in upstate New York.
Beautiful upstate.
And your agency has been helpful to us on certain flood mitigation projects and rehab projects with the National Conservation Service. And also your recent issuance of a guideline on food nutrition, allowing flavored milk in school and lunch programs, vitally important to a part of the country where our dairy farmers look perplexed at the fact that the USDA will restrict certain milk products in school lunch programs. And I've always thought it's unusual that the same USDA that says you can't sell whole milk or flavored milk or have it in a lunch program allows us to purchase $3 billion worth of soda in the SNAP program. I've yet to hear anyone say that soda has any nutritional benefit, and yet we do that. The thing my farmers keep, and many of the apple growers and other farmers keep raising with me, is the difficulty in getting the seasonal agricultural workers into the country. And there's a lot of complaints about the time and the effort and the expense of dealing with the Labor Department, and I'm wondering if you have an opinion on how we could expedite these H-2A visa and that process, because you know, my farmers trying to harvest apples in the fall this year are not going to be able to hire locals, because locals, as you alluded to previously, will not do that work. And it's vital that we are able to bring seasoned agricultural workers who have experience and knowledge to work on these farms throughout our region. Could you respond to that?
I'd be happy to. I'm aware, obviously personally and through my briefing here, that the H-2A program has been essentially unworkable with recent additions in that way. We're familiar. We've got a lot of H-2A utilization in Georgia, and I know from growers that it's become much more burdensome, much more expensive to comply with that. This person I mentioned earlier that we had hired with farm labor experience has been directed by me to look at the H-2A program, see if that's the vehicle we need to go through currently before we can get maybe a broader farm labor resolution. And we're going to be working on that, presenting the administration and you all some ideas on, from a regulatory perspective, how we can streamline H-2A to be a more dependable source, a more reliable source, and of immigrant labor to harvest those crops.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary, because this is truly vital. And you know, I talked to an apple grower in my area in Columbia County in Kinderhook, my hometown, just yesterday, who told me that the prospects of a great harvest this year are looking well, and they're very encouraged. But if they can't get the workers to help harvest this crop, it is going to be for naught. And so I hope you will take this back to the administration and to the president and tell them it's vitally important that we have a stream of workers who can come into the country and perform these seasonal tasks. It's critical to our economy in my district, and I know in districts all across the country.
Agree wholeheartedly, and the good news is I do think that's the president's heart, and we'll continue to be very strong, voracious advocates in that regard.
Right. Thank you so much. And if we can just remind folks here in Washington, D.C. that September and October are just around the corner. We need these workers here in this country. We can't wait till the last minute. We've got to give certainty to our farmers. I very much appreciate your service as governor of Georgia and your service now to our country as Secretary of Agriculture, and I look forward to working with you in your department. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. I yield back.